We interrupt this program.
Oh, baby! A perfect roll call! Welcome to America, son! Whoa! Demon! Blah, blah, blah. Another drop tour! Oh my God! Oh!
Hello and welcome to Die. It is Frame Trap for the week of October 18th. We are live from Southtown Arcade here in San Francisco, California. My name is Mr. Jared, creative director of I Play Winner. Right here we got the birthday boy!
Oh no,
the CEO and founder of I Play Winner, Hasu!
Yeah.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday today.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Oh, thanks.
They do say it's your birthday. Anyways. So, how is it turning 33?
33. Well, you know, I got some back pains and stuff. You know, it's a little harder to tie my shoes.
That's
you know,
what happens.
A little older, a little wiser. So, yeah. At least I didn't have to look my birthday up on Google this year because I forgot how old I was last year.
That does suck when you get to that point where you just don't even know. Wait, are you older than me?
I'm 29 now.
Okay, thank God. All right, we have a really great show for you this evening. We got a lot of news to get to. Actually, really quick, how did you spend your weekend? Did you stream Monstered Up? There was a lot to watch.
Actually, I did. I was watching seasons beatings for like all day Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much definitely all day Saturday. Sunday, of course, we were here streaming King of Fighters, Rambat, and Super Street Fighter. So I was able to catch it on Sunday because I was watching on my phone while I was streaming. That's like an exhibit moment, you know. Yo dog, I heard you like streams, you know. So
yeah,
but I was watching. I think the AE Grand Finals like on my phone and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but we had an awesome Rambat here. I think one of our best at Southtown this weekend. So I know most of you guys were watching Seasons Meetings as well. So if you missed it, you should definitely all the replays are up on YouTube. So it was an awesome tournament. This weekend.
Sounds good. You know, I think if there's ever a T-Vox app for iPhone, I am just ruined because I spent my whole weekend in T-Vox. I had Seasons Beatings. I had MLG StarCraft. It was just like going all over the place. So I was watching Huck take down MC first foreigner to win StarCraft 2 at MLG Major ever since Koreans began competing. Very, very awesome stuff. So it was definitely a esports weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like you did send me the screenshot where like all the different
it was like a command center. Yeah. So it was an excellent weekend.
Okay.
I didn't have a good way to seg into that. So we got a really big show for you guys tonight. Of course, we got all the results from Seasons Beatings. We have a disgusting amount of new information regarding Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And we're going to discuss some Killer Instinct 3. World of Killer Instinct craft, I think, is maybe the best way to describe it. It's not real though. It is not real. Yeah. So and also, you know, something happened over the past 24 hours. You know, it just an absolutely, I have to say, an exceptional article, just extremely well written, very well articulated article about commentary. And of course, I'm talking about the comment that Derry Husky left on my article that went up on I Play Winner. Absolutely brilliant. So we will be talking all about the great disparity between commentary, or what do we even call this subject? I wrote the article, and I'm just like, what do we even call this?
Well, it's, you know, if judging by what's going on the internet today and Twitter, you know, it seems like it's definitely a new topic.
Yeah,
we're breaking new ground here as far as people talking about commentary in the scene and where it's going. So, but we're going to hit that a little later in the show.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So for now, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we will be talking Seasons Beatings and all the great results of that. So we will see you on the other side. All right, we are back here on Frame Trap on iPlayWinner.tv. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us for the next hour. Seasons beatings, Velocity, all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Really big major tournament. Before we get into it here, I just want to go over the results so we're all clear on who took home all the prizes here. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, E.G. Momochi took down E.G. Ricky Ortiz. I know one person who was probably happy with those results. Maybe we'll get to that a little later. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Flocker defeats the EVO World Champion Viscant in a Phoenix vs. Phoenix showdown. Also in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Damdai defeated Mad Catz Tokido, and in Mortal Kombat, VSM CD Jr. defeats VVV Rio, who is actually coming off of winning Arizona.
Devastation.
Devastation.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Blanked out really quick. So you actually watched a ton of season beatings.
You know, I was really only able to catch the pools play on Saturday mostly, so I wasn't really able to see much of the grand final or like top 8 except for like the grand finals between like EG, Momochi, and Ricky. But I did go back and watch replays with like the Marvel grand finals and stuff. And first off, Street Fighter 4 grand finals were awesome. Even though I was just watching on my iPhone, I was pretty hyped. I thought Momochi's Cody was just out of this world, man.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, obviously, Ricky put up a really good fight, but it was, I don't know, it was pretty wild to see him take the entire tournament with Cody.
Yeah, because Cody is not a character who you see dominating like that. He's typically considered to be, pretty middle of the road. Not a lot of really like super.
Well, I mean, he does a lot of damage. The character does a ton of damage when he lands a hit, but like against characters like Yun or like even Rufus, he doesn't have a ton of defensive options. Once he gets knocked down, it's sort of game over. And then just taking like the like tournament atmosphere into account and everything that's going through your mind while you're playing. It's just, I think it's pretty amazing that Momochi came out on top with Cody. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then. Let's see here. I did see some of the exhibition matches. I think the good versus evil Marvel match.
Not a good Knights beat Phoenix. If you aren't familiar with this, they did a special 5-on-5 exhibition where good were players who don't play Phoenix, and evil are people who do play Phoenix. I am actually a big fan of Phoenix because I personally do not play Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That is my spectator game. So I really only get genuinely excited when two things happen. When Phoenix comes out, and when Sentinel comes out.
I always get hyped for Sentinel.
Dude, just the big baboosh, and then it's go time. But no, I get hyped for Phoenix, so I was very sad to see that good triumphed over evil. Although,
it was
when I think about it, it does kind of seem appropriate.
Did you watch the entire? Did you watch any of the 5-on-5 though?
Yes, okay. I did. It was heartbreaking. I was there with I was stream monstering so hard this weekend. The greatest thing about being a stream monster is that you're home, so you just get to go buck wild in the kitchen and just cook. So I made like a big platter of chicken wings. I'm like going nuts. I'm just there. I'm like, I'm just like going in, right? So yeah, I watched a lot of that. I mean, it was heartbreaking for me as a Phoenix fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was pretty exciting. I mean, overall, came down to the wire. I guess it was like to just like one game.
Yeah, it came down to the absolute last match.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty awesome. And then just there were a lot of hype moments on that 5v5. But the grand finals, from what I watched, I don't know. It was a little. All I'll say is that I'm glad the Ultimate is coming.
Really?
Because, I don't know, just the Phoenix, the Phoenix grand finals, and just a lot of the play there. I mean, nothing, obviously nothing against those guys, but just, I mean, the fact they're forced to use a character like Phoenix, and then there's that one GIF on the internet. I think it was Nerd Josh and Clockwork, where as Phoenix just mashing short. I mean, there was like a moment where they were doing
that. Where that actually happened.
Where that happened in the grand finals. So I don't know. Flocker's play throughout the entire weekend was amazing. I mean, he was using Zero as basically like a battery for the team just to build up meter, and had the Tron assist to cover Zero. Had some amazing combos and just amazing play overall. But again, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just. You see, like all these crazy combos and all these awesome mind games and setups and stuff, but at the end of the day, it just it comes down to like Phoenix and mashing light and stuff. So it was a little underwhelming, I guess. But
what can we say? We can't control it.
What I thought was really interesting is that Flocker's not a sponsor player.
And
Daigo
Imahara says a sponsored player should never lose to a non-sponsored player.
Yeah, that's what Daigo said. So I thought that was kind of interesting that, and also brings up the question now that he has, made a splash in the tournament scene.
Is he going to get scooped?
Is he going to get scooped? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, he's got to, keep at it. You never know. It'll happen. You know who the real winner of Seasons Beatings is?
Who? Tell me.
The real winner of Season Beatings, Sir Scoots. So shout out to Sir Scoots, EG, doing a bang-up job.
He's in there.
Also,
esports.
Before we move on, one rumor that actually popped up was that after being defeated by PR Rog, this is a rumor, by the way. We attempted to get this confirmed. We couldn't get any credible sources on this. Apparently, word on the street is after PR Rog defeated Mago, he took off his glasses and just snapped them right in half. We need confirmation.
Definitely.
Because Mago, if you're out there, dog, let me tell you, I understand. All right,
we all know what it's like.
I know what it's like to think you've got the match and you have this elaborate setup and then just. And then it's over. I know what that's like. It's okay. You don't have to get so mad. So, any final thoughts here on?
No, I thought the stream was great. From what I saw. Shout out to Spooky for holding it down. Like I guess for 3 days on extremely limited internet. We've been there. We've been there at NCR, and we know it's really tough. And I saw a lot of chat was complaining and stuff. So. Shout out to Spooky for holding it down.
Yeah,
once again, the entire weekend it was an awesome stream.
Yeah. It looked rough, but it was stable.
Yeah,
you could tell what was going on, and it's like when it's those kind of situations, it's just at the very least like that's what you need. You just need to be able to just kind of see what's going on there. So shout out to Spooky. We've been there. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Pretty good tournament.
Mm-hmm. Good. Great tournament. Great experience.
On your iPhone.
Yeah, on my iPhone. Yeah.
All right. So, when we come back, we are going to have an absolute blowout of information on Street Fighter Cross Tekken. You are all free until we come back from this break.
Yep.
All right, we are back here on Frame Trap. And also, guys, don't forget, we're going to have a special bit of commentary on the article on commentary.
Talking about talking?
Talking about talking, coming up in a bit. If you're wondering, Seasons Beatings was a pretty big major. That was a really short segment. It's because I got this giant list of things that we got to get through, and it's all Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So let's just hurry up and dive into this. Rufus, official, confirmed.
Well, they had that one CG trailer. Yep. I guess it was. So it's not like really a huge surprise to anybody. I think,
but it's nice that they actually came out and said, "Hey, guess what? Here's Rufus. He's in the game." Also, that confirmation came with some new character teasers. If you haven't seen the character teasers, there's too much to get to. So go to iplaywinner.com. Go to the YouTube channel, iplaywinner. You'll see all the teasers there, because I got to be honest, and we talked about this last week when we played some character teasers. These teasers keep getting more and more obscure. It used to be you'd watch a teaser for 2 seconds, you'd be like, oh, I know who that is. Mm-hmm. Now it's like they're throwing multiple characters in there. A lot of, as you said, red herrings. Although the odds-on favorites, if you check a lot of the comments, all the comment monsters piling in, the odds-on favorites are, and I'm going to pitch these at you, and you can tell me a little bit about your thoughts on them. Mm-hmm. It would be Lars Alexanderson, and Mokujin.
Yeah. Law, I think, wasn't Paul? I thought Paul was...
Was Paul one of the also odds-on favorites? All right, well, hey, how would you feel about Paul being in there?
Yeah, but but bringing up Mokujin is... I'll get to that in a second, but first off, I think Law is somebody... There's one of the characters I think everybody figured would be in the game at some point, so I don't think that's a huge surprise, but it'll be interesting to see how he plays, if that is the case.
If he's different from Fei Long?
Yeah, I guess. He always had a pretty... I thought a pretty sick moveset in Tekken. Really animated. Very obviously very Bruce Lee-like. So I think we'll see how he looks in the game. But I think if Lars is actually in the game, I think he could be really cool. He had some of the flashiest combos in Tekken 6, and he was I think one of the coolest character designs that has come out of Tekken in quite some time.
With the weird flock of seagulls hair.
Yeah, well, just his whole moveset, and that he dashes under.
He does that weird teleport thing.
Yeah, to get under the opponent wall in the air and like rejuggles and stuff. I think he will be awesome.
Yeah, and I think the original intention behind Lars was he was supposed to be kind of like the poster boy of Tekken 6. You know, like
yeah,
I think they wanted him to be a much more significant character than maybe he turned out to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if they threw him in there just kind of get that support out there.
Yeah.
And Mokujin, you actually kind of predicted Mokujin quite a while ago.
A long time ago is sort of their answer to random select, I think, for the game. Which I think that'd be cool if they do that with Street Fighter Cross Tag and put Mokujin in there, and it's just you don't know who you're gonna be playing. But yeah, I think Paul was actually. I just remember looking over the comments, and Paul I think made an appearance in one of those videos as well.
So would Paul be a rival for Ken or Guile? Because it's like American fighters, right?
Yeah.
But Paul's got the hair.
Yeah.
Could be like Kid vs. Play.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'd be some like hair combing mini game or something with Paul and Guile. But again, Paul is just a character I think everybody would probably expect to be in the game. I just remember, I have fond memories of playing, Tekken. I don't remember.
Scoop elbow, dude. That's
just
timeless.
I was at Disneyland or something, and they had one of the first Tekkens there, and he was one of the characters just in the game, just like Law. So he's to be expected. I imagine him to be a pretty basic kind of character, like he is in Tekken. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, obviously with any character, it's up to the player how far you take him and stuff. I feel like he'll probably be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, one of the things I've really noticed Street Fighter Cross Tekken is, this game is actually really reminding me just kind of how iconic a lot of Tekken characters are, both in looks and like their moves. Like you don't really, it's not something I think about a lot since Tekken characters have so many moves. But it's like for every character you can pick out like 8 to 10 moves where it's like this is what defines that character. And I think Paul has like a lot of his moves are like, that's totally Paul. So
oh, yeah.
very cool. But one thing I noticed, so of all these characters, only one of them actually got a gameplay teaser, and that was Rufus. It was like a little gameplay teaser, and they included some of his supers. And I noticed there was something missing from Rufus, and that thing that was missing was hype.
Yeah.
I realized that his supers, he didn't,
The
boom. He didn't raise the Rufus.
Yeah.
And so I was very concerned about this because that is an integral part of the Street Fighter 4 community, and I would like to see that move in to Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So I contacted Seth Killian.
Yeah, but that was earlier today, right?
I texted Seth Killian at 1 a.m, and he gave me an official comment here as I asked him, are we going to be able to raise the Rufus here because I'm not seeing it? He said, quote, everyone only really has one super and one team super with 2 animations depending on whether you start or finish it. But Rufus's core super is Big Bang Typhoon, which, as you know, is the Super Street Fighter 4 Ultra 2 for Rufus. So I think what you're getting at is correct-ish. Good enough for me. So it looks like we won't be able to raise Rufus, and of course this tragedy affects us all. But
there's one person.
Yeah, there are those who do share the stage with Rufus who would be hit the worst. And for this, I contacted another person of authority. I contacted E.G. Justin Wong, who, of course, popularized raising the Rufus for all of us.
Hey, raising the Rufus isn't something that just happened at some random tournament a year ago.
Street Fighter 4 Nationals.
Justin at Devastation, he I forget who he beat, but
he's like, hey, you want it? All right.
Yeah, so they keep doing it. They're still doing it to this day,
Absolutely. So got in contact with Justin. He hit me back on Twitter today, and Justin said, quote, sad face. It's a sad day for Rufus players, but as long as he has something flashy, I'll be happy. And that is a really, really great attitude to take. I mean, a very valuable weapon in his mind game arsenal has now been stripped away from him, and he's got a really great attitude about it. So I really look forward to see how Justin, maybe he'll come up with something new. Maybe it won't be like Raise the Rufus. Maybe he'll do like the Big Bang Typhoon, like the pose, the sexy pose.
Maybe you can get a gem that allows you to raise the Rufus.
I guess you'd probably have to pre-order it at Costco or something in order to get that gem. Of course, the other really big news coming out of New York Comic Con this past weekend is the gem system in Street Fighter Cross Tekken has really been laid out. If you're unfamiliar with this, basically it was revealed that Street Fighter Cross Tekken will have a special gem system. Oh, we got a nice little trailer here that's going to explain everything. Do I still get to talk over it? Yes, the director says yes. So as you can see here, you have 5 slots in which you can slot in any of these gems that you collect. If you only pre-order it now at GameStop and get the special Cool Fighters gem. Or you can pre-order at Costco and get the Raise the Rufus gem. I don't know. But what these gems do is they basically buff your character. As you can see, there's a couple of varieties of gems that alter the power, speed, defense, assist, cross gauge, and potentially many other properties of this character. And as you can see, gems make all the difference.
And you have to, as the trailer shows right now, there's like special circumstances where it'll actually activate the gem.
Right. It's not just like you slot these things in and now like, all right, I'm godlike. It's like, no, you actually have to perform certain tasks within the game itself. It kind of reminds me of the achievement system in King of Fighters 13 where it's like perform 3 short hops and you get points. Only this time you're going to perform 3 short hops and you're going to get awesome damage or something.
Yeah. Which is that's kind of a interesting take on it, I think. But
I hope it's really interesting because as it turns out, this is something you cannot disable in the game.
Yeah, which I guess this is news that came out. There was an interview with Ono, right?
Yes, there was actually multiple interviews which revealed multiple pieces of information regarding the gem system. So really, before we get into the fact that you can't disable it here, let's see here. I just want to make sure everybody gets their proper credit here. So VGTribune.com did an interview at New York Comic Con with Ono-san, who basically said, they asked him, are these going to be banned? Because this is the thing about when they revealed the gem system, the fighting game community didn't just have a knee-jerk reaction. They basically had a knee snapback. Yeah. They heard gems, and they were just like, get that out of here. They snapped in Dark Ono, and then they just pummeled away at him.
That's exactly what it is.
But here's the thing. Ono says that gems won't be, or he says gems won't be outright banned in tournament play for officially sanctioned Capcom tournaments. But then, of course, in the he believes that as a core feature of the game, it's just like Super Arts, it's just like Pandora mode. It is something that they are designing this game around. So at least there's something to give you a little bit more faith to go on. But then it turns out in an interview with the Gamer Hub on YouTube, there's no way to disable it either. So for all these players out there who are like, oh, I'm going to turn that off, we're going to have pure, honest fighting. Bad news, everybody. You cannot disable it. What are your thoughts on this?
I think with most of these mechanics, I'm always at sort of like a wait and see, kind of like, well, we'll see how it pans out. But even right out of the gates, man, I really don't know about this. I feel like as someone who streams tournaments and runs tournaments, and just the first thing that comes to mind is if this is something you're customizing your character with, that means that this is something, it's just like button checks, basically. Each player is going to have to customize their gyms, put in the slots and stuff. And it just seems like it's going to take up a ridiculous amount of time in the tournament world. And it could be fun, even on a casual level. But even for those of us who, like you said, just want to play the game without gyms, if that's not. If you can't disable it, that's even at casual sessions. It's like when someone new gets on the stick and they want to play, and then you have to reset the gems like all over again.
You could just also agree to not slot in any gems as well.
Yeah, and I guess we have to see kind of how it works or how it's going to pan out. But I'm just not really a fan. It's like it's definitely not selling me on the game. In fact, I think they're making the game a little more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And because I haven't played it much, but the few times I played it was when it was really just sort of the tag fighting had two super, or you had your super bar with EX meter, you had chain combos. So it's like, This is cool. This is like it's just like a fighting game, you know?
Yeah. I mean, after I've played it plenty of times, and actually one of the things I liked most about Street Fighter Cross Tekken was I was like, finally we're returning back to Street Fighter, which is like it's just special moves. Yeah, it's a tag system, super, but the blocking, there's no arbitrary defense systems or kind of comeback mechanics to it. I was like just fighting and blocking.
Yeah.
As a Super Turbo junkie, I like that. I like my fighting. I like my blocking.
Yeah.
And now, when they introduced Pandora mode, I was like, all right, we played around with it here at Ultimate NorCal vs. Capcom event about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, all right, it's kind of silly distraction. It's not going to be a big deal. Like you can use Pandora, but it's like that's your prerogative. I don't know what you're going to get out of it. Yeah. Now it's sort of like, all right, now it's getting a bit complicated. Yeah. And as a a tournament organizer, we've seen this in the past where games start introducing kind of DLC mechanics and all these different kind of features that some players might be using, some players might be using on their game, and then they want to go to a tournament, use it, and it's like, well, now we have like 15 PS3s, and they all have to have this setup. We saw this with Mortal Kombat. Right. We also saw this a little bit, not so much in the Tekken 6 community. It's like, oh, at home I got this crazy customized character. It's like you don't get to show that off at a tournament or anything like that. But here's the crazy thing. So there's also a collector's edition for Street Fighter Cross Tekken announced. And this is going to give you an idea of how far-reaching the strategy is involving these gems in a marketing sense. So the collector's edition here features 36 gems from all the pre-order packs. So I'm assuming that they mean like, there's going to be different gems for pre-ordering it at GameStop, pre-ordering it at Walmart, at Best Buy, and Costco, and 7-Eleven, and Tim Hortons, and God only knows where else you'll be able to get it. So, lost my place here. 36 gems, 9 exclusive gems only available for pre-ordering the collector's edition. So now we got it's the exhibit thing. It's pre-orders on pre-orders.
Gems on gems, Doc.
Yeah, gems on gems. And so that is a total of 45 gems when you pre-order. This speaks to a lot of the problems existing in the greater gaming industry with online passes and content that would typically be included in the game is now spread across all these different retailers. And as an organizer, that will present problems because if you want to include gems, like if you want to say, hey, we want to run a tournament that's going to use all the features of this game, that's going to feature all the gems, what happens then when you have 10, 15, or Evo, like 20, 30 PS3s? They all must be loaded with this data in order for it to be a fair and level playing field. Unless, of course, we just go with basically we're going to have to come up with some sort of rules where it's like, okay, well, we're going to include gems, but it's just going to be the stock gems on the disc.
Right, yeah.
It starts getting into some pretty strange territory.
And even more than that, just it makes me wonder about like the balance of the game as well. I mean, that just throws in a ton of variables into the game itself, and there could be certain gym combinations that just break the game, like straight up. You don't know. I mean, obviously, none of us really know because we don't really mess around with it. But a lot, with any fighting game developer, even they don't know how strong a lot of this stuff is until they get it in the hands of top players and players who sit in the lab all day and break this stuff down. So, I'm a little worried about the system to be frank. I was hoping that the game would stay a little more simple, and a lot of these features, that if they did decide to put them in, that maybe they would be optional. But that's obviously not the route that they're taking, and it makes me wonder if they are trying to focus more on building up like the online community and making it more like, okay, this is a game that you play online, and the gyms are something you customize your character and play your friends online and make lobbies and all this stuff. And they're not even really thinking about like the tournament scene. That's kind of how it comes off to me, is they are shifting to that, but we'll see.
Kind of like Phantom Dust. Sorry, I just wanted to have our second Phantom Dust reference here on the show. But you know what? We will not know exactly how this all pans out until Street Fighter Cross Tekken releases on March 6th in 2012, and also announced PC version of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. No release date given for that, but assuming it's PC, so probably a couple months after that, especially considering Street Fighter 4 didn't come out for a couple months, and then Super Street Fighter 4 didn't come out until Arcade Edition, so hopefully, comes out closer to the console release, but you never know. So, nay-ish on gems?
Right now, like, I'm the type of guy usually is wait and see, and I give stuff like this the benefit of the doubt with sort of these crazy game mechanics. But this one, I'm definitely not too sure about it. But we'll see.
All right, I'm you know what? I got to give it the Zangief. The wait and see.
The wait and see. Okay.
All right. When we come back, we're going to hit up a couple of smaller news stories, and still to come, commenting on commentary, talking about talking, all stuff that's been flooding your Twitter stream all day long. All day long. We will be right back.
There. Yeah. We're back.
We're back?
Okay.
All right, we are back on Frame Trap. Blow-ups all over the place. Hans, it is not 2012, but guess what? It's going to come a little early. But not the year, the game. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition Ver.2012 finally gets a release date of 2 release dates here, one for the Arcade Edition, one for the console version. And if you go to arcades, you will be getting version 2012 on December 2nd. Is it going to be here in Southtown?
Yeah, actually, I think that's up in the air.
That is up in the air because
I don't know how any American arcade is gonna get the game right now.
Yeah, actually, it turns out the arcade version will receive a patch in Japan through the Taito Nessus network. How foreign arcades gonna get it? That remains to be seen. But when we find out, we got the owners of Southtown here. They'll give us the inside word. And for all you play on consoles, December 13th, you will be able to download it. And again, that's great. You got a little text message there. Got a little phone call.
No, okay.
You want to take that?
No,
no, you're okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that Ono-san coming?
No.
Hasu, why do you hate gems?
Yeah, it is Ono. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will give you the exclusive on that. And again, just want to point out free update, so you don't have to pay money for that.
What do you think? Because I was actually thinking that
you want to pay money for it. Yeah, you know what? You guys support the arcade community. Just send Ono like $5. It's cool.
No, I was thinking it was going to come out a little later. Honestly, I was surprised it was coming out so early.
Mm-hmm. One thing I didn't hear, and someone feel free to correct me on this. I didn't hear any word about when the PC version was going to get that patch.
Oh,
I have Googled the internet as far as I could, and I did not find it.
And PC Street Fighter 4 PC is really taking off. It seems like even like a lot of top players are embracing it to playing at home on AE.
Yeah, I
PC.
think just because like if you want to stream, if you want to cash your matches, thanks to programs like XSplit, it's actually really easy now. Just to stream your PC game. It used to be. About a year ago, it was pretty difficult. I had to deal with programs that weren't so hot, but now there's XSplit. Now it's really easy. So yeah, I think a lot of the top players are starting to just kind of keep shining to it. Even if it's like not the best competition, it's like it's something. And also play with other top players who are playing with it.
Well, I know Filipino Champ. He really likes the mods.
Yeah, is he rocking Pregnant Sakura? All right, you know what? Don't.
His doll. He had a Dalsum though that was
like zombie Dalsum.
It was Necro.
It was Necro.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. But
I respect that. I respect that. So hey, you know where you're going to be able to play Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012?
Where? Tell me.
The EVO World Finals 2012. Dates, venues, all of it announced. The EVO World Finals will be taking place next year, July 6th through the 8th. That's right after the 4th of July. So basically everyone's going to come in crazy hungover. I mean, and EVO's already a pretty rough time, let's be honest. And of course, EVO is returning to, and I must say, the roughest EVO of my life.
Wow, yeah.
Caesar's Palace. Also the greatest EVO of my life. Hans, do you have anything you'd like to share about EVO back at what ice cream?
Ice cream.
We got I just got hungry all of a sudden. Do you have any because we traveled together to EVO 2010 at Caesar's Palace.
Well, I'll say I definitely like it a lot more than Rio. Without a doubt. I thought the layout of Caesar's Palace is maybe a little confusing sometimes. I feel like I got lost in a maze.
Especially when it's like 3 in the morning and you're drinking a yard-tall margarita and there's a fake sky and you don't know where you are.
In Wilson out.
Wilson out.
Yeah, but I'm really glad they're going back to Caesar's. I thought the venue was awesome. I think that was a perfect place to.
And it's just, really any venue that's on the Strip. Because I like the Rio. It's a nice place. Yeah. But this year, I arrived at the Rio on Thursday evening. I did not step a single foot outside until Monday morning at 2 a.m. when, me and Markman were going to Fridays. you just get trapped there when you're out on the strip. You know what game I'd really like to see at EVO?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah. Well,
Wouldn't that be sick? Killer Instinct. So wait, why don't you set this one up for us? Because you actually had a small question on me. So why don't you just go on for it?
Well, I mean, I saw this. Someone sent me this link. Oh no, Aries Warlock, who sends us a lot of tips via Twitter. This was on Gama Sutra, I think, with Chris Tilston, who's basically an ex-Rare developer. Who, if you guys don't know, Rare made Killer Instinct way back in the day, and he has a new studio now called I think it's Starfire, right?
Yeah, they're actually making Fusion Genesis, which is actually a really slick-looking Xbox Live Arcade game. It's a space-themed 8-way shooter with MMO elements. So, as a fan of 8-way shooters, I'm actually pretty stoked about that.
Yeah. So, he's basically saying, if Microsoft came to him to make Killer Instinct 3 today, if
Microsoft came to him, this is what he would say.
Yeah, he said that he'd add like a lot of World of Warcraft, like MMO RPG type elements to the game, and the whole interview is kind of interesting because they had snippets of an interview with a Rare developer back in 2008, I think it was, and they're saying, Killer Instinct. They're basically saying, Killer Instinct. It was cool. It was great for the arcades, but it was so loud and kind of in your face. You don't really think it would fit.
It was extreme.
Yeah, and they said it wasn't really meant for like the home market, I guess. And they're saying that the fighting game genre in general would need to be sort of like flipped on its head and completely like reinvented for them to really invest in something like that.
Yeah,
that's basically that's more or less coming from Microsoft. So I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it's looking good. But
I mean, if you want to make Killer Instinct 3, but you want to World of Warcraft it up, I mean, I could see Tusk on a mount. Like you ride in on the horse, and what if this? Because he says here, it's almost like you need a WoW, need to do a WoW to it. You can't just have the traditional thing. It's like, how can you make it more accessible in a way? I know how. You replace the motions of doing Hadokens and Shoryukens and all that stuff. You replace all that with hotbars. You want Hadouken?
Gosh.
You push 1. Yeah. You want Shoryuken? You push 2. You're just like this, keyboard and mouse. Dude.
Don't give me any ideas, man.
Cowboy Ken comes in on his celestial mount,
Don't give me any ideas.
You have to customize them. Tier 5s. DLC. Pre-order at GameStop.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. What I thought was really interesting, though, is the way they're talking about just that the genre needs to be redefined, and then we see things like the gym system and something we're going to get to next, the Heroes and Heralds mode in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where they're even Capcom's adding like this layer of customization to the games and really pushing it hard. So I don't know, maybe like I said in the article, maybe they're onto something. Maybe for the fighting games to really blow up in the mainstream, it does need something like that. I mean, it's not something I'm obviously like pushing for, but
you know what, Hans, I gotta be honest. I think you're being very narrow-minded about this. I think that you also have to think about the fact that there are manufacturers out there who could make a killing out there if Street Fighter gets turned into something more akin to World of Warcraft. The Z-board manufacturers, instead of getting Mad Catz fight sticks, you'd have customizable Z-boards. Yeah, you can get a new slot for when Marvel vs. Capcom 4 comes out. Yeah. Get like a sick APM mouse, because you're not going to be using a stick no more. You're going to be using the Z-board with the mouse. Your APM's going to lighten up. You're going to have a jersey on, the Totino's pizza rolls. Oh, it's going to be sick. You know what? Screw this. I don't even want to be in this arcade anymore. I don't even want to be in this arcade. I just want to be at home with my Z-board and my Cheetos and my Mountain Dew. I'm going to be like, let's play some World of Warcraft. Daigo, just... That's it. That's all you're going to see. This. It's going to be sick.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the future. And you know what? You know what else I can't wait for? I can't wait to take this break so that I can go and take a breather and remind myself that, I came from the arcades. It's all about the arcade culture. I just need to take a moment because I'm getting all fired up.
So what's next?
Next? Next is the future. No, next is going to be Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Another big blowout, a lot of news, characters, features, a lot of really cool stuff, and we will get to that right when we come back. All right, welcome back to Frame Trap here on I Play Winner. Our director Chris said, crossing his fingers, we got it this time. We're in there.
Yeah.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. A lot of news coming out of New York Comic Con. A lot of confirmed characters. It's hard to joke about it because we already know. We already knew all the characters. It's hard to act surprised, but first footage of Phoenix Wright and Nova. Very, very cool stuff. How did you feel about Phoenix Wright after all the hype and anticipation?
He just looks like kind of a troll character, to be honest. I thought his moveset really looks interesting. With like picking up evidence and whatnot. But it looks like he'd be extremely hard to use. Like on a
it seems like he needs a lot of protection from assists.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It just looks like he has to. I don't know. It just looks like a lot of his attacks really didn't have like that much range and. Just
at least until he gets the evidence, because then he has a finger that points across the screen.
Right. But I mean, it's just I guess we'll have to see, what players, do with him. But I don't know. It just looks like he'd be extremely difficult to use. Like
also, his normals are very. It doesn't even look like attacks. Like he has he has a combo probably coming up here where he just walks forward and he's reading some papers and it's like that's your attack. It's like, what's going on?
I think it's great that Capcom really just really went above and beyond with how they implemented him in the game. It's
very true to the character.
Yeah, and I think I've read on some YouTube comment that Capcom's being lazy and they didn't like his moveset. But I thought even if he is a troll character, I just love what they did with him and how they put him in the game. So
yeah, because he doesn't come from a fighting game or really a game where there is much fighting or action. He comes from a graphic novel game.
Right. So and then of course his level 3 is pretty ridiculous. Obviously you never know until the game is in the hands of top players and it's been run through a handful of tournaments. But it looks like he's going to be the character to use to piss people off online.
Kind of like Arthur against Phoenix players.
Yeah, or like Beautiful Joe or whatever. So we'll see what top players do with him. But I don't know. His move set just looks so unorthodox and looks like he has to go through so much just to really get become more powerful. Right. That I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Some characters you won't be seeing in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Mega Man. Big shocker though, considering all things that have occurred in the past year with Keiji Inafune leaving Capcom. Basically the father of Mega Man. Of course, we're talking about one of the new stages in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, an ode to an old Uncanny X-Men cover that shows a list of previous Marvel vs. Capcom characters, mostly from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Mega Man, who knows? But Mingo, dead. Like Cable, dead. Like all these characters that people
you see it here in this Nova trailer.
What am I seeing?
It's at the right. It's the right. Mega
Man.
Oh
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at Phoenix Wright, like.
And,
I've seen this.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Nova. So.
All right, Nova is pretty sick. Nova is one of those characters that I was actually kind of surprised they threw in there. Not because he's not exactly the most popular character, but technically he is the most powerful of all the characters introduced. I'm talking as a comic book nerd. Nova is, he's celestial powered. Like none of these characters can technically touch him, but that's a completely different subject. I think he looks pretty cool. He looks kind of very Captain Falcon-ish, I suppose.
Oh, right.
A lot of Falcon Punch-looking moves. But yeah, I think Nova looks really sick.
And he has like a full-screen OTG, and I think he has like a super that it does more damage depending on how much red life he has or something. I don't know exactly.
So Capcom really experimenting with just a lot of different ideas within this game. Also coming out of not necessarily New York Comic Con, but Capcom Unity actually posted, and this will be pretty useful for people like me who maybe aren't super familiar with the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 series. It is 10 changes you need to know about with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So would you like me to read some of these off to you?
Well, no, I got this one. I mean, like a lot of this stuff is I think, well, not a lot, but some of it, if you've been keeping up with the game, you might already know about it. Like you can activate X Factor in the air, but some of the other points here. I'm trying to see. Well, let's just go down the list. The attack and speed increase for each character while at X Factor have been adjusted. Additionally, the damage reduction minimum the damage reduction minimum while an X factor has been decreased from 50% in MVC3 to 35% in Ultimate, and hyper combos performed during X factor will now be subject to damage scaling. A right or left exchange during air combos will take away 1 bar of the opponent's hyper combo gauge, which is pretty dangerous for Phoenix players.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, some people might have heard of that, but I don't know. I think that's actually going to be a pretty big change to the game. You know, overall. So
As if she needed any more nerves. God.
let's see here. When you launch the enemy into the air with a special attack, hold the button down, and your character will automatically super jump to follow the launched opponent. Can be turned off in the options menu. So I guess that's that is interesting. I don't know how that'll work. I don't know if players are going to adopt that or not. But we'll see. The window for aerial exchange counters has been adjusted, making it easier to land one. So, okay, all right. If you land a snapback attack on an assist character similar to landing it on a point character, the assist will become unavailable for a short period of time.
Wasn't that how it was in Marvel's Capcom 2?
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. That crossed my mind, but I wasn't 100% sure. But you know, that could be critical, you know, versus some teams. Like, you know, I know a lot of the nastier assists like Tron and Hagar have been toned down already, but might be a viable strategy against some other teams. Let's see here. No longer be able to block during air dash. I think a lot of people already know about that one. The rate of meter gain has been decreased by 10% of what it was in Marvel. If you have played the game, that's one of the first things you'll notice. Like, hey, I'm not building as much meter as quickly. So let's see here. Number 9 in MVC3, the amount of hit stun caused by assists was fixed, but in Ultimate, hit stun caused by assists will also be subject to hit stun deterioration during combos. So that should change up a lot of combos for sure. For characters who have 8-way dashes, the speed on their down back air dashes has been slightly decreased. And I think really in just overall any character in Ultimate that has an 8-way air dash, it seems like they've been slowed down a little bit or adjusted a lot. Like Magneto is a lot slower, and I know it seems like Iron Man, he has some sort of like acceleration on his 8-way air dash. So lots of big changes for the game.
Changes. Good.
We'll see. I think I for the most part, I agree with a lot of the changes that they've put into Ultimate. But again,
as a casual Marvel's Capcom fan, speaking to me, are you pleased? Are you not entertained by these changes?
For the most part, I like the changes. I don't like what they've done with a lot of the 8-way air dashes. I hate that Magneto's so much slower. I mean, that's I'm not too happy about that. But the game as a whole, it looks like it's shaping up really nice. I'm actually I'm just excited for Ultimate as I am for King of Fighters 13. So
bold words.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my most anticipated games for sure. So.
Well, then answer this question: are you excited about the Heroes and Herald mode?
I am. I think it's cool, and I know people are probably like, what the hell? You just said that you hated the gym system, or you're not.
Yeah, you do hate gems. So what is different about the Heroes? Well, explain it. Explain the Heroes and Heralds.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, it's basically a card collecting system in the game where you collect a card and it changes the attributes of the character.
It's Phantom Dust.
Where you can parry, they have you'll see in the trailer here. You can parry. They have like X Factor burst, stuff like that. So I guess it's similar to like what gyms are doing in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but it's not mandatory. They're not forcing you to use this. It's just sort of like looks like a fun addition to the game where you can collect these cards, play online. I think you can collect the cards offline. But you can use them online matches, and I'm sure there'll be a certain setting while
also cards which represent characters which will most likely never be in this game. So hey, Cyclops fans, guess what? He's a card.
Yeah, they have like Nightcrawler there. Yeah. But so the reason I think it's cool is I think this is a good way to keep casual players motivated to play the game or just interested in the game. This could be a mode where they're like, hey, that's kind of cool. And as you know, like just people, just gamers in general, just love collecting stuff. Like I'm not one of them, but when Xbox achievements started to become like the big thing, and people were saying they had to get all the achievements, I didn't understand. I was like, why? Who cares? But apparently people love this kind of stuff. So I think my hopes are that again, it will be something for casuals and will keep them interested in the game. And then eventually, once they've collected all 3 million cards or however many they end up having in the game, they'll be like, hey, let's see how like tournament players play this game, and maybe they want to try to maybe instead of using the cards to play the game, they'll try to play it quote unquote the right way. And so anyway, I think I love this kind of stuff. Again, as I've talked to Seth about, like Mortal Kombat, their story mode was awesome. I think that had a lot to do with a lot of casuals and players just picking up the game and staying invested with it, because the story mode just was above and beyond what you would expect from a fighting game. And this kind of stuff, I thought this was kind of funny. Poor Justin.
Go for Justin!
So if it accomplishes that goal, I think that's great, as long as they don't force us to use it. And in tournament play, I say, I'm all for it. So
all right. Well, Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 comes out November 15th of this year, but you will be seeing it much, much sooner right here on Frame Trap.
Yeah, we have a pretty big announcement and a trailer for one stream that I know you guys, one stream and event that I know everyone really enjoyed, and we're really hype about it. It's
is it the Run Back?
Can we get the trailer? Can we get the trailer?
Can we call it that too?
The Run Back?
Yep.
It's the Run Back. Let's see here. Well, yeah, I think you guys can probably guess what it is, but this is coming very soon to Southtown Arcade.
Watch for me eating a burrito.
Ice cream.
It's a new dive move, OTG, I think. Yeah, it's his new move.
Death from above. Oh, okay. That's super armor. Oh, God, Nemesis!
All right, so Ultimate NorCal versus Capcom 2. It's like 3 weeks away, so we're doing another one. We're gonna have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 here. I'm not really sure what the status is on. I know we had a Street Fighter Cross Tekken segment on there too, but yeah, we'll probably have some more announcements in the very near future as far as what to expect from the stream and the event in general. But stay tuned to iPlayWinner.com and we'll get you more details on it.
Maybe Ono will come and give you a personal demo on the gem system.
Yeah, all right.
All right, you guys, when we come back, behold the optic blast you're all looking for, talking when we come back on Frame Trap.
Here comes a new challenger. Beat 'em up, guys!
All right, you guys got a little taste of Draw Instruction coming October 22nd.
It's this weekend.
Yeah, that is that. Oh,
Yeah, it's this weekend.
I'm not going to be here
Yeah.
because I'm going to be in the happiest place on earth. Ultimate Barcraft at BlizzCon.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah! All right, so little troll in there.
Yeah.
All right, so something happened the other night. I think someone's trying to break in to the arcade, but that's okay. So last night, I posted an article to iPlayWinner. It was something that was been kicking around my head for a really long time. The title is basically, what is it that makes for enjoyable commentary? I finally felt motivated to discuss this. This past weekend, as I was watching, like I said earlier in the show, had TVox open. If you haven't checked it out, hey, tvox.com. If you're a stream monster, it will change your life. Had, MLG StarCraft. I had Seasons Beatings. I had a couple other stuff here. And I found myself returning more to the StarCraft streams. And when I really sat down and thought about it, and this is something that's been a growing trend for me, because I began watching professional StarCraft a couple months ago, because I just wanted to see, I'm like, StarCraft is really kicking our butts when it comes to numbers with the streams. And I was thinking, I started watching this stuff originally because I was like, well, what are they doing that's so different than what we're doing? Because in my opinion, there is no reason why Street Fighter and fighting games in general cannot be as big, if not larger, than StarCraft or League of Legends or any of these other big professionally played games. And it just really comes down to basics. Our games are about two dudes punching each other in the face. All right? It doesn't get any more raw or simple or easier to understand than that.
Unless Poison is on the screen, then.
All right. Well,
it gets a little more complicated.
That is true. Yes, but and StarCraft is a game that is on the surface incredibly more complex. Just if you sit down a person who doesn't really have much experience with video games, you sit them down in front of StarCraft, you sit them down in front of Street Fighter, and go like, okay, what's happening in this game and what's happening in that game? They'll tell you, well, I don't know what's happening here. But these two dudes are punching each other in the face.
Well, like you actually sent me a video recently of, it was some StarCraft event. I think you sent me the video. I think it was some StarCraft event where everybody was getting hype, and they had it was like on the projector or whatever.
Yes.
And I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea why they were getting so hype. And you put that next to, say, the
Daigo Justin Wong.
Yeah, the Daigo parry. That is super. Anybody can understand that what's going on there, and why people are getting so excited. So,
Well. And basically, this question that I was led to is, let's go back to when you and I first met at my apartment. The earliest of iPlayWinner streams.
Yeah.
We not to take like too much credit, but we were some of the very first casters within the fighting game community to do direct feed footage. We were doing picture-in-picture and player shots and audience shots. Just in my apartment, we were doing commentary. And my inspiration for commentary was always actually professional wrestling. Like, you got to have your Jim Ross, you got to have your King, you got to have your play-by-play, you got to have your heel. We really.
This is almost like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
right?
And we really pioneered a lot of this stuff, and we didn't. I don't think we quite understood what we were creating at the time, because we were just making it for us, for our own little.
It's like the NorCal community, the stuff we played with.
We were just doing it for the guys who I could only fit like. I think my cap was like 18 people in my tiny apartment. Just streaming it for the guys who just couldn't show up, the guys who were like a little farther out of town. And the question that I've been asking myself over these past couple of years is what we're presenting on play-by-play commentary, is it truly any more significant? Is the quality any more significant than the earliest of experiments that we did in 2009? And before we get into this, I just want to say, a lot of folks have been, being like, well, I've heard you do a lot of the things that you're complaining about.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not perfect. And you know what? I happily admit that. In those earliest of days, even, it was me and it was Hell Pockets screaming in Japanese on the mics, and we were just going ballistic. And, I'm sure I've done stuff like that over the course of the years, just like we all have. We all come from the same scene, it's all good. So really, I share the blame in creating kind of what we have now. But I just think about it, and I watch a lot of commentary. I watch the stuff that we produce on iPlayWinner. I watch Wednesday Night Fights. I watch Spooky. I watch everybody. And the question I ask myself is are we producing something that is significantly better than what we were making a few years ago? And that's like when you look yourself in the mirror and you kind of know the answer, but it's
Yeah, I mean,
tricky.
that's really what I know. Like some people were kind of maybe took the article like the wrong way or something. I mean, it caused a lot of debate over the past like 24 hours. But really, that's what I took away from it, because what's been on my mind is even for a lot of our major streams that we've had, we've sort of plateaued. We've hit a point where we're seeing like outside of Evo. I mean, obviously Evo's a little different than most like majors or any other tournament really. But we've kind of plateaued with the numbers, and this is like a year later, and we are seeing a little bit of growth here and there, but it's not significant growth that I would like to see with these streams. And the blame isn't solely on the commentators.
No,
obviously. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I could do, that Spooky could do, that everybody who's involved with the community and the production could do to maybe help get more people watching. But of course, the presentation with the commentary is one big thing, and I think there's always room for improvement. Not only just with commentary, but with the quality of the streams and everything. So
yeah, I know there's some people out there who are like, well, things are great and things don't have to change, and I absolutely reject that, because I think that if you settle, like you've already lost. We have to keep pushing this community forward in all aspects, from organizations to casting to commentary. This is just the subject that I was really kind of feeling in the pit of my stomach at the time. And of course, in the article, I talk a lot about, and we joke a lot about esports and like StarCraft, and I troll it up a little bit. But to be honest, I have really I consider the folks over in the StarCraft community, the League of Legends community, while we don't always all see eye to eye, they're pretty much our brothers in arms, on the opposite side of the fence. They have their way of doing it, they have their communities, but it's at the end of the day, we're all pretty much trying to accomplish the same thing within our own communities. And I was comparing in this article a lot of the commentators in our community to StarCraft commentators such as Day9, Artosis, and Tasteless, some of these really big names, and of course these guys do get paid for what they do. And a lot of people, including actually the first person I believe who brought this up was Dacid Bro, one of our commentators and a really great Marvel player from Starbase Arcade. Love that guy, and I agree with that to a point. Obviously, you get what you pay for. If you're going to pay somebody some money, they're going to have to live up to this. And a lot of the guys in the StarCraft community absolutely live up to this. But at the same time, those guys didn't get to where they were. Like, they didn't just wake up one day and be like, "Yeah, I want to commentate, so give me some money," right? Like right here. Day9 did not get paid for a significantly long time. He was just hammering away every single day. He does StarCraft 2 dailies. In fact, he might be doing it right now. He every single day he did a cast. It was educational. It was fun, informative, and he stuck with it. He honed his craft to the point where he said, "Okay, now this is legitimate. Now you got to pay for these services."
Right.
And in the fighting game community, it's like, I asked that question myself, like, do we have a Day9? Do we have that person who is that passionate to the point where he wants to carry this community on his back and say, "Hey, get as excited and hyped up as I am, and I'm going to help you get there." And not to discredit anybody in this community, because we do have people who are just as passionate as Day9. I think you're a great example of this, of running I Play Winner essentially like for a living. I think guys like Spooky who travel around. A lot of people. There's a lot of people who are just as passionate, but do we see that effort? Do we see a lot of people banding together and trying to push this scene forward? And that's kind of the more concerning question.
Well, I think what you're talking about, and for one, with our commentators, I think a lot of them are actually doing a fine job with what they have, and a lot of times the situation, a lot of times they don't have their own booths, and they're not separated from the tournament and whatever. And I think Ultra David is honestly doing a great job. Out of everybody, he's just doing a fantastic job, giving the background of the players and being really well informed about all the games and stuff. I think he does a really good job. We definitely have people in the community who are doing well right now and have a ton of potential. And the stuff you're talking about right now, like what Day9 does, is basically uploading videos all day. And as far as I know, I'm not really a big StarCraft guy, but he's just a commentator, right? He's not known as a top player, or is that?
I believe he was.
He was. Player. Yeah, right. Okay, but he's not out there.
Which brings up a point that you like to bring up a lot, which is in order to bring that dedication, whether it's the commentary or casting or organization, you kind of have to be willing to also give up the game, which
Right,
is
right, right.
which is the hardest bargain. It's kind of like dealing with the devil, you know. It's like you might get all this popularity, you might get an audience, you might get everything you want, but it's like you got it's like but you can't play the game.
Yeah, well, what you're saying as far as like getting paid and this, that, and the other. I mean, I would really like to see all of our guys in the community start doing stuff like that, like uploading videos every single day. Have your own YouTube account where you're, commentating on previous matches from tournaments. And I know Ryan Hunter is doing that in Florida. I saw he has a new show that he's doing. It's just like a pilot episode, but he's really breaking down matches, and he's honestly, one of the best commentators that we have in the scene as well. I want to see more of that from our commentators. I know it's hard when you're not getting paid, and it takes so much time to be so informed about the game and be so prepared when you go to a big event, or put so much time into doing these videos day by day. But that's, I think, really what we need right now is we need those voices to be heard, not just on the stream, but also, again, like on their own YouTube channels. And I don't know, like I don't watch a ton of StarCraft, but I mean, to be frank, I mean, when I do tune in, they honestly come off like really well informed about what they're talking about, and they fit a lot of information into a short period of time. It seems like they all have like their iPads or notes on a lot of different statistics. I would love to see our players on Glenn's site, GYT site.
I was right about to say, if anyone needs a shout out, it's Glenn Cravens at GYT News. That guy's been hammering away with incredibly in-depth, super valuable statistics. Really doesn't get enough love for that. That it's like one of those things, like, I don't want to blow up Glenn here, but like we kind of need more people like Glenn, Yeah.
But the one thing is, I don't want us to like emulate the StarCraft commentary. I think what we have is awesome. StarCraft doesn't have a Yipes. They don't have a Magus 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the fighting game community. They don't have, these personalities. And then, and again, as I was saying a little earlier, there's just so much potential with the people in the scene, who are commentating these games. It's just we need to do a little more work, I think, to get it out there. And I think in turn, it's going to help with the stream numbers too. I think the stream numbers are going to go up because they're going to, more. There are a lot of people on YouTube who don't watch streams, I mean, they just watch these YouTube videos. But if they knew these streams existed and they were able to hear the voices, on the stream, I think that would go a long way. But again, a lot of the responsibility also falls on guys like me to put more effort into the pace of the show and the programming, being a little bit more of a hard ass when it comes to like who gets on the mic and who doesn't. Because I think one of the downfalls that we have right now, and I think it's funny. It's kind of a coin toss when you have these moments where you do have randoms on the mic. You have these moments where it's really funny and really hype, and oh man, that was awesome. But then, honestly, more often than not, it's a lot of times it'll result in like just like dead silence or really like kind of like awkward moments, but they're not really funny. It's just kind of like what am I watching? So again, that's kind of like on me to when I'm at Starbase or like even a bigger event like NCR, I'm trying to be more prepared and have more stuff lined up to where it just it's better for the viewer and it's better for the commentator,
and also that point of like letting randoms on the mic and all that stuff. At the same time, we also do need to discover who in our community kind of has that natural talent and who is it that can get involved. Because back in the day, if we weren't running those really early Keystone Light I Play Winter streams, maybe we would have never discovered how awesome Hell Pockets is on the mic or how Pavo can break down a game and stuff like that. So at the same time, it's like we also have to kind of explore within our own community and figure out what that is. And to one of your earlier points, I'm definitely not calling to emulate what StarCraft or League of Legends or whatever, a lot of the big esport games do, because quite honestly, we can't. There's a couple things preventing us, obviously. The cash, portion of it, obviously, but also, with a game like StarCraft, we're dealing with a game that, the commentators quite honestly have about, unless there's like a surprise rush, they have about 10 minutes to kill. We can get a couple matches done in 10 minutes, but at the same time, that can't be an excuse as to what's holding us back.
Right.
That should be the challenge.
Right.
You can't just say, oh, well, they have 10 minutes to kill, and then there's like 20 minutes of match after that. That's why they can tell narrative. That's why they can break down these games on an analytical level. That is not an excuse. That is the challenge, because other sports have to deal with that. What about boxing or football? It's some really fast-paced sports.
UFC,
UFC. Or what about car like motorsports. Like when things get really intense.
UFC isn't a sport, actually. MMA. It's MMA. Sorry.
Hey, easy mistake, right? Easy mistake. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to come off like a hard ass, because it's like I freely admit I am guilty of all these things. I mean, even here on Frame Chat, but half the time I'm looking down, scrolling through my notes, and it's like we try incredibly. I mean, we try really hard to get this done, but at the same time, it's like there is a lot of preparation, there's a lot of practice that goes into it, and we can always be doing better. And I think that that's something that everybody has to take to heart. We can be doing the show better. We could be doing a lot of things better. Well, we try. You gotta try.
As a commentator, you don't want a time to come where the opportunity to go beyond where you are right now has passed and is maybe passed on to somebody else. And you may think, well, I want to get paid for this right now or whatever. Now is the time. Now is the time to start, like, I want to say, like, I don't know if practice is the word, but preparing, whether it be, studying, the statistics of players and, or, whatever it may be. And that was actually one thing I want to hear more from commentary. I actually harped on this last week just because, like I said, Ultra David does a really good job on it. Is I want to learn more about the players and where they're from, what they're doing now, where they're going. And, I know our commentators do that, but I think that needs to be a much larger focus because, I feel like a lot of people will say, okay, well, they need to be better at explaining like situations and what's going on screen and all these technical aspects. To be honest with you, I don't think a lot of people even give a shit about that. I think a lot of people only care about the player, the person behind the joystick, and that's why people tune in. It's for the drama, and they want to know about this stuff. And as you said, the matches move really quick, so a lot of times it's hard to break down some of these more like technical situations and whatnot. And I think there's definitely there's obviously room for that. You need to talk about like what's going on screen, but it's just another way that we can improve. If you do commentate like even a local tournament, just if you see a new guy there, like find out who he is, ask his name. I hear all too often, oh, who is this guy? Or, where's he from?
Yeah, there's always a lot of like,
yeah, I know. It's like that probably that kind of stuff needs to not happen. I think even if it's this guy's first tournament or a pro who's been playing forever, people need to really know who's playing. And I think that's going to help a lot.
We have in this community. With all its rich history, we have some of the biggest, most exciting, most interesting players in all of pro gaming, and it's like we are unable somehow to craft a narrative for this entire scene, and that to me is borders on unacceptable, because we should know everything. We already know most everything about guys like Justin Wong and Ricky Ortiz and and Daigo and all these top players. We know their history. Why can't we get that across? Because that is what we have, I believe, over different games is that human element. Because the people who play these games, the people who are known for playing fighting games, are just as big and just as interesting as the characters that they play.
Right. Well, I think also it's we're in an interesting period in the scene where a lot of the commentators, I mean, all the commentators are players or have been at some point, so they know all the players, and they have for quite some time. So I think maybe they take for granted the history of Justin Wong or some of our more popular players. And if someone's just tuning in, they may not know like where Justin's from or any of these players. They may not know. It's second nature for us to just kind of like know all this all the history about all the players, but
the viewers might not.
Yeah, exactly. And it just makes it, I feel, more fun to listen to, because even if like someone like me who's been in the scene for a while, like still stuff I don't know about a lot of these people, because I don't live on the East Coast. I don't live in Florida. I don't even live in SoCal, So it's like
I think what we need to do is we need to find a way to make that emotional connection that's happening at these tournaments and bring it into your homes. And we're going to do that by kind of connecting the dots, connecting the faces. My final thoughts on this, and it actually kind of goes back to something you pointed on when we were discussing this over, I believe last night, is that this is a flashpoint for the fighting game community. And I want to be clear, in this article, I was not calling out anyone specific. I was calling out anyone and everyone, including myself.
Yeah.
I was calling out myself in that. I was calling out Hunt.
Yeah.
Everybody on notice. Because here's the thing. we are at a flashpoint here in the fighting game community because if we don't step up and if we're not the ones to take charge, someone's going to step up and they're going to take charge for us.
And you don't want that.
I'm not saying who. I'm just saying because there are things shifting in this community. It's all heading in one direction. What we have to decide is, are we going to be the ones who are, steering that unstoppable train towards destination?
We have for quite some time, and I love what we have now with this scene, and I just want it to continue to grow, and I want it to, all these awesome events, to again even bring the viewer more into that element and really make them feel like they're at the event. But again, it's something that's. It's a responsibility of everybody in the scene, I think. But I think with commentary, that is one thing. I think, obvious thing that I think we can really work on.
Yeah. All right, you guys. If you have any thoughts on this, please share it with us. Here at Frame Trap, we always want to hear your feedback, good and bad, great and awful. We really want to hear what you think because. Like I said, we want to work to make things better for everybody. So hit us up on Facebook.com/FrameTrap. You can also hit us up on Twitter, #FrameTrap. Also, at Jared R, at Haunts.
Yep.
Are we just going to go right into the conclusion?
No, I got just a couple things.
Now everyone in the chat's going to be like, "Hey, good shit, really organized."
Yeah, I know exactly.
we got work we got to do.
Well, I just want to give everybody a quick update on the streams. We'll be live from Starbase tomorrow night around like 9:30, and again, Drumstruction will be Saturday and Sunday, which is a big tournament here in NorCal. Going to have a lot of top players in attendance. Marvel, Street Fighter, all the usual suspects as far as games go. And then check out Cross Counter Live. They're on a little later tonight around 10. I'm not sure what they have in store, but check them out. They're at I think it's the stream.tv is where you find it?
Yes.
Yeah, the stream.tv. So Gutex, Mike Ross, check them out.
You love those guys. Why wouldn't you tune in?
Yep. So anyway, see you guys next week.
Actually, wait! One last thing.
Nope, see you.
Hands in the air. Big announcement coming next week on Frame Trap. Each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. But you will want to tune in next week.
See ya.
Here comes a new challenger. Beat 'em up, guys.
Here's the thing that makes life so interesting. The theory of evolution claims that only the strong shall survive. Maybe so. Maybe so. But the theory of competition says just because they're the strong doesn't mean they can't get their asses kicked. That's right. See what every long shot, come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is that this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic. So before you step up to the fighting stick, before the start button is hit and the clock starts ticking, Just remember out here, the results don't always add up. No matter what the stats may say and the experts may think, and what the commentators may have predicted, when the fight is on, all bets are off. Don't be surprised if someone decides to flip the script and take a pass on yelling uncle. And then, suddenly, as the old saying goes, we've got ourselves a real match.
It's a new dive move, OTG, I think. Yeah, it's his new move.
Death from above. Oh, okay. That's super armor.
Oh my God, Nemesis!